An unknown vessel is approaching our ship. Their intentions are currently indeterminate. Once I deduce their intentions, I will play one of two audio signals. A cheerful fanfare if they are friendly, alarms if they are hostile. Their intentions are no longer unknown. At precisely this moment, Captain? No. Within the next 60 to 90 seconds? Yes. The unknown vessel has deployed a boarding mechanism. They will attach themselves to our airlock and attempt boarding shortly. That sound indicates that a boarding mechanism has successfully attached to our airlock. Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we are currently in the process of being boarded. Captain Hawthorne installed a lethal shock trap on our airlock in the event of an invasion. I am prepared to deploy this trap at a moment's notice. I understand. Allow me to rectify my oversight. Captain, please be informed that our airlock has a death trap installed. The invading ship appears to be a decommissioned storage vessel. The crew are either pirates or freelancers. My opinion of their competence is low. Their ship is using a tracking device too sophisticated for their primitive astrogator. I conclude they are receiving outside assistance. If you prefer to make an escape, I can disable their boarding mechanism. However, as long as that tracking device remains on board their ship, they will be able to find us again. Understood, Captain. I will be deploying the Unreliable's lethal deterrence system. Please approach the airlock and enjoy the show. Now initiating more welcome protocol. Protocol successfully deployed. Have a safe boarding, Captain.
What the? What was that?
Mess with us.
Welcome back, Captain. I understand you have resolved your differences with our former boarding party. Are you ready to depart? Understood, Captain. Resuming our course. We've arrived at the Olympus Orbital Pharmaceutical Station.
What happened to these poor folks? It can't be the storm that did this.
Everything's going to be okay.
I'll get you right up!
You think it's supposed to shake like that?
Auntie, have mercy! How'd you get in here? Are you from outside? How is that even possible? Law, help me, I must be losing my wits. I didn't have any friends here, but that don't mean I wanted to see heartless auto mechanicals rip everyone to shreds. I know it sounds crazy, but a little while back, I'd been gearing myself up to take a long walk off a short turbine platform. Then the security mechanicals broke out into a massacre, and I realized I really want to live. How can I help you help me get out of here? Do I ever? Drop me off on the groundbreaker, and I'll be out of your hair in no time. I'm Kelly Marine, the receptionist. And before you ask, I wasn't manning the visitor's desk when the mechanicals went haywire. 'Cause no one comes here. Not ever. Not since all us station workers were dropped off at the start of the project a year ago. Right. Heck of a time for our first and only visitor to show up. Speaking of, why are you here? Doc Lowe's alive? That's a relief. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Hey, not to sound presumptuous, but this is an orbital lab floating in the ether thousands of miles above the surface of Olympus. Which means you've got a ship, where it's safe, and where there's probably a lavatory? Oh, I'm not getting at anything. I'm getting away from, all this mess. Drop me off on the groundbreaker, and I'll be out of your hair in no time. Oh, thank you so much. I'll just hide in a crate or something. You won't even know I was there. Here, this is my official laboratory headgear. I won't be needing it anymore, so it's all yours.
Real slick.
Anyone else?
That won't do it all. Jasper, you imbecile. Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind, and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Dr. Olivia Ambrose was one of the finest scientists in the colony. If you're risking your life to retrieve her journal, there's likely a good reason. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want. Of course you do. Well then, let's hear them. Did you snoop through my things? And just admit it to me. You do have gall, I'll give you that. Look, I keep a draft on my terminal where I vent my occasional frustrations with upper management. It's honestly one of my less detrimental coping methods, as I am not stupid enough to fill out the name in the address field. One thing at a time, my chatty accomplice. Turbine repairs first, interviews later.
Law have mercy!
Initiated.
Be right there. That is a deal, Captain.
Facilities back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. I suppose you've got a point. or something resembling a point. I'm emotionally addled right now, and I'm allowing my sentiments to get the better of me. Here, my personal security keycard. There's a hallway near the processing room. It leads to a security terminal. Use this keycard to unlock the hallway and disable security. Even if I wanted to talk about Project Gorgon, I couldn't. All my memories of Gorgon are intact, but they're in disarray. Like a book with its pages shuffled. Making sense of those memories requires clarity of mind. Clarity that only Sky High gives me. To tell you everything I know, I'd have to be dangerously euphoric. All right, just one inhale. Easy does it, Jasper. Have you ever seen a lake as still and clear as a mirror? That's how my mind feels right now. The disaster at the chem lab was my fault. I tested adrenatime on primals. I decimated my own research team. And I was a coward. I locked myself up in isolation. I told myself that I needed silence and solitude to perfect my formula for Sky High. But the truth is that I was ashamed. Nothing. Everything. I told myself I needed a drug to help me focus, help me work. The weight of guilt crushed my capacity to work, but if I didn't work, then I was worthless. Adrenatime was like that. It was designed and marketed as a necessity, an elixir of productivity. It made you feel guilty for not using it, and then hurt you when you used it. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I suppose you're right. I do need to relax. Up you go, old friend. And just like that, the demons of my mind have all gone silent. I'm a scientist. My entire life is built on the foundation that science is a force for good in the world. I believed in Project Gorgon. Spacer's Choice didn't. The compound that we discovered on Gorgon had all the makings of an elixir. It could have been the greatest medical achievement since the discovery of antibiotics. I'm saying Spacer's Choice never saw anything in Gorgon beyond profit. Adrenatime would have taken years to develop responsibly. We needed time, resources, room to make mistakes. Project leadership panicked at the first sign of a mistake. They gave us no resources, slashed our time in half, and demanded we produce anything marketable. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I shouldn't. Thank you, but I'm starting to reach the threshold of my tolerance. I'd have to clear my mind in order to answer your questions, and that requires a truly irresponsible dose of Sky High. And admittedly, a truly spectacular high. All right, I'll humor you. Indulge you even. For what better life could a scientist want than one spent answering questions? Up you go, old friend. The author, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, was one of the most brilliant minds in Halcyon. She wouldn't have kept a journal for something as tawdry as mere sentiment. Dr. Ambrose never made it out of Gorgon alive. That's the sort of thing that happened to the project's best minds. They were killed. They turned marauder. Or they became me. Gone. Like smoke in a breeze. Sky High clarifies my mind, and I can see that my confidence was only ever an illusion. I never had the courage to tell Dr. Ambrose that I admired her dedication to her work. I never had the courage to stand up to corporate on behalf of my staff. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I can't tell you how badly I want another hit right now. You're right. I'm tempting destiny, inhaling a dosage this high. Must be reasonable with my dosage. Enough to function. Any more is cowardice. If you have any more questions about Project Gorgon, you'll have to seek the answers yourself. I'm quite through reminiscing about that layer of hell.